Good afternoon and welcome to an afternoon of poetry. I am Carol Latham, the community coordinator for the Muzeo Museum and Cultural Center in Anaheim. And we appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to be with us. This is being recorded. The Museo is a local museum where people gather to share culture, make art, and uplift the community. And we do this through creative events, exhibits, and educational programs like this. For this afternoon's presentation, we have four fantastic poets. Tamara Branch is a writer and multidisciplinary artist who was born and raised in the Bronx. She's an author of the award-winning book, It Girl for Life, a self-esteem resource for girls all over the world. Poetry, Sprinkles, Poems and Musings on Life is a creative exploration birthed in the first few months of quarantine in 2020. Tamara is deeply passionate about uplifting the human spirit. Christopher Ciders is an award-winning journalist, poet, spoken word instructor, music producer, audio engineer, and radio host from Los Angeles, California. Ciders dedicates his life to music and poetry in hopes to make a connection to his audience, giving the youth something to relate to. He's also heavily involved in feminism and gender equality, hoping to spark conversations regarding male privilege through his column entitled Memoirs of a Male Feminist in California State University, Monterey Bay's Oyster Realm newspaper. Any purchase of his book, Born in the World of, available on Amazon, 45% of the proceeds will go to Youth Now in Watsonville. Sharika Duncan is an author of 5 books who previously wrote her first novel, The Setup, which depicts the true essence of playing the cards that life has dealt in the face of adversity. Sherika was born in Georgia. She studied master's in business administration with a specialization in project management at Forbes School of Business at Ashford University and is a globally recognized PMI certified project management professional. She lives in Florida with her children and family. Alejandro Perez Jr. is a Dallas native and a multidisciplinarian educator. He is a spoken word artist, diverse lounge MC, published poet, a married father of 6, a life coach, mentor. Alejandro is also a martial artist instructor with a Contra Mestre ranking in the discipline for 22 years. This panel of poets has been assembled by Natalie Elaine. She's a Southern girl living in sunny California by way of Texas. She is devoted to making an impact through sharing her love of poetry, art, yoga, and meditation to the world. She encourages everyone to tap into their gifts and not be afraid to use them. So it is my pleasure now to call on Natalie Elaine to lead this afternoon's presentation. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you, Miss Carol. Hello, hello, hello. And I'm so grateful again for you, the Museo, Burkinda, everyone involved. I am ever so grateful and appreciative for this platform. And it has just been evolving with each show. And I, again, am just so grateful. Thank you all, the creatives that are on the panel this evening. Tamara, Sharika, Chris, and Alejandro. I do appreciate you taking out this time. You could have been doing anything else, and you chose to share your beautiful souls with us today. So without further ado, we're going to, for the sake of time, get started with our special guest, Misty Alejandro Perez Jr. We actually go way back to kindergarten, and I can call on him whenever I need to. And I felt in my spirit it was necessary for him to perform this particular piece that I've actually requested that he perform for us this afternoon. Um, as we have extended in my head and in my thoughts our celebration of Black History Month from February till now, till March. As far as I'm concerned, Black history is 365 days a year. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with Alejandro with the piece that I specifically requested.
Hello, beautiful people. If you can hear me well, let me get a thumbs up. All right, all right. If I need to be loud, I need to see. Make the up motion, and I'll turn myself up. Am I clear? Let me see real quick if I can share my sound so that you can hear it a little bit better. Hopefully that should improve the quality of the sound. I don't know if it did or not.
It sounds good. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I need to turn up, I need you to do this. Like
okay.
With the index finger. If you can't hear me, I want you to do like that.
Yeah, that's the educator in you. We got it.
With the okay, well, everyone, I am a Afro-Latino, born in Oak Cliff. That's my hood, raised. By way of Puerto Rico, también the Bronx. My father was born in Juncos, Puerto Rico. My mother was born in Dallas, Texas. They met somewhere in Hanau, Germany. My mom told me when I tell her story, I better tell it right. So I'm going to make it short. They were sipping and tipping and having girl time on a Friday evening. They saw my daddy walking across the courtyard, and she simply said, girl, he is fine. That's going to be my husband. And homegirls, girl, you crazy. She went outside to introduce herself as Corner Fields from the Dirty South. And my father and all his regalia was like, nice to meet you. My name is Alejandro Perez. She said she fell in love with his accent. It's like, this is it right here. So when you put an Alejandro Perez with a Corner Fields from the Dirty South, you get Alejandro Perez Jr. And the piece that I'm doing is dedicated to the extension and representation of African, I want to say African Heritage Month, but I live it every single day. What's really interesting is it transcends like demographic. You'll start to see the influence of Africa everywhere if you really pay attention. So without further ado, I'm going to create this song for you. I brought my hookup today, Natalie. Let it settle in real quick. Check it. 20 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I've got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I've got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. Social unrest, pandemic, COVID-19, social distancing, police brutality. Mental illness is at an all-time high. Children are missing their teachers, friends, and lunch outside. I think about this digital life versus analog. Connection, Zoom school got me feeling real different. Lost, thousands on traveling work. Reap a few months of family connections and perks. Now, I'ma do Diallo. Was when I memorized my ID on my driver's license. So I would never be caught reaching for something that isn't there. It isn't really fair, but we've got to learn to look to the other side. Cause we're not the only seeds that have been traumatized. It's hard to realize 400 years desensitized for perspective of the life. Man, it isn't right, but it's the truth, whether we like it or not. Empathy, compassion bursting out in the street for the basic right to matter for folks that look like me. Imagine looking up at strange fruit hanging from trees and the memory from nursing from the same woman's teeth. Excuse me, I mean breasts. But we've been taught that we were less. But I digress. Back to the lesson of colorism. House nigga, field nigga, and the brother that passed the indoctrination of the peasant in class. How long would it last? June 19, 1865 was the first time that black folk from the South realized we were free. Since January 1st, 1863. 2 years later, when Abe Lincoln gave his famous speech, they claimed that all enslaved Africans were finally free. I'm not blind, man, I can't see. I'm not blind, man, I can't see. Stop lying to me, please. Stop killing us lying in streets. It's 2020 and everyone in the world can finally see. George Floyd was the spark that sent the peace to the street. Breonna Taylor woke her up and gave her permanent sleep. Damn. We need justice, y'all. And it's gonna happen. But it's gonna take some time, some realism. And remember, don't have astigmatism. 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. School up, pipeline, prison. That is the vision of those who run the jails that have to fill the cells to make more mail from free servitude, simply because free labor is the tool that built this nation with no apology, no reparations, destroyed communities. The war on drugs turned us into thugs. So when our counterparts get caught, they need more hugs and they need more love. But what about us? Michael said that they don't really care about us. See, Black Lives Matter is the lowest ask. They supposed to give up land and a gang of cash. But the trip is, we ain't even asked for that. At least not yet. But we gon' need that dough. My grandmama said, baby, you reap what you sow. An eye for an eye, a knee for a knee. Something must change, something must die. Now, please, don't misconstrue my speech. I'm talking about racism. I'm clear when I'm speaking. I'm leaving no room for misinterpretation, because 2020 has been a hell of a revelation. I'm having conversations with my children and my wife about the state of our affairs and community life. I teach my children to have a diverse friend portfolio, but in these days and time, COVID got us moving slow. So mental wellness become a topic that touches souls. It doesn't matter whether you're young or gracefully go. Your voice has power to communicate. My mom says it's about love and eradicate hate in a circle of prayer. People of all walks of world, people of all walks are there. People of all walks are there with a vision of change for love, justice, and equality. It's 2020, y'all. +1. Now it's time to see. 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. In other words, I see what y'all doing. We see what y'all doing, and y'all gonna stop it, because our voice and our hearts and our minds are united for change, and we gonna rearrange some things. 2021, we speaking, teaching, and reaching, so we can rise up just a little bit higher than we were before. With that being said, take the spiritual bread and keep on feeding yourself. You heard? 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I've got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. I got 20/20 vision. I don't have astigmatism. All right, y'all beautiful people. I have double booked myself. I need to hop off and jump on this next Zoom call. Peace and blessing. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Call me when you need to, and I promise next time I'll be more delegatory with my time.
That's okay. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you popping in to be our special guest. Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you.
very
Thank
welcome.
you.
Love you. Miss you. Can't wait to see y'all again. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Bye-bye. That was definitely a piece that I really like, that Alejandro performs pretty often here lately under the circumstances. So it was, in my opinion, needed. And I really wanted him to perform that piece for our event this evening. So moving on to the lovely Miss Sharika Duncan. I was ever so grateful to come across or find or discover her on one of the authors and poets Facebook groups that we're both a part of. So I am honored that she was ever so grateful to grace us with her presence this afternoon. And thank you again, Miss Sharika Duncan.
Thank you for the invite, Natalie.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. So I just don't want to prolong the time and would love to share maybe 3. I don't know about the time, just let me know, be my timekeeper for me. 3 selections from my book, The Setup, 3 poems. One entitled, You're Black As. Okay. It reads, you are black as. Black as coal on a hot sizzling fire, dark as misty clouds. Black is the color of sleep that creeps beneath the eyes. Black is night that eventually derives to day. White is pure, white is good, white is snow, contrary to black. Black is the symbolic color worn at funerals. Darkness is fearful and evil. Black is blab. Black is bizarre. Black is bitchy. Black exemplifies, ebonically speaking of black, black is power. You are black as power. Yes. Nice opener. Now, excuse my voice. The next poem, it's entitled To Our Sisters, Our Nubian Black Queens. Although I do not overlook our kings in the midst, because you do uplift us and protect our presence. So we do appreciate and honor you also. Although the title of this poem is called My Nubian Sister, Hold On. My Nubian sister, hold on to a strength that is deep in you. When times are troubled and things look blue, Sister, strive for a motivation, a force or will to succeed. Don't worry yourself, sister. Call on the man who holds the key. The ridicule, the temperament will all come to an end once you look within yourself and find your true friend. Self-esteem is her name. You will not feel ashamed. My Nubian sister, then you will see the change. You see, this is where your future will belong. My Nubian sister, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Now, I'm a lover for words, so I truly am in love with the Black experience, the Black relationships, and I want to pay homage to the love of a Black relationship. All right. This is a part of history. This is who we are. We are Black loving beings, humans. Our light shine bright. Okay. Just turning through my book. How much time do I have?
You're good.
Okay, great, great. Trapped. In today's society, just to give you an intro, trapped is referred to entanglement. I hear the word entanglement a lot now. But back then, this poem is entitled Trapped. All right. Torn in between night and day. The two are so much different in so many ways. I'm only human, constantly making mistakes. To venture out in life, so many choices to contemplate. Night has always been dear to me. Very supportive, so carefree. It's who lingers on my every word. No control, no substance. At times it seems absurd. You see, night has always been nurturing the moon and the stars while I'm preparing myself spiritually. Night is home with the moon and the stars constantly. Work, no play, has been my night's life, always. I'm all night has. I'm all she needs to survive. But can it be? Night depends on me to provide her every need. Night turns into day. Day comes along shining so bright, focused and determined to be seen at first sight. What is that? A rainbow in the sky, symbolizing every dream day wishes to come true. Day is so intimidating to my intellect. My day is unpredictable. I don't know what to expect. I'm usually in control. Not knowing what's going to happen has me in a standstill, although I still feel intrigued by the way day appears to me. But you see, I'm all they got. I'm their world, trapped in between night and day.
Trapped. Yes, that is an interesting word to use, trapped. In comparison to now, like you said, they refer to it as an entanglement. So Yeah, that I learned that vernacular or that word actually this year. What was it last year? Entanglement. I had never really heard of it used in that fashion, but nonetheless. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Chris. Again, thank you so much, Sharika. I really appreciate you being part of the panel today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I actually met Chris. Well, I think I met him. He didn't necessarily meet me, but we did an event for the Long Beach Library. It was an open mic session that closed out 2020. And I was pretty intrigued by his presence, his look, his verbiage, his background. And the story that I heard initially about him that really struck me the most was that he was stricken with COVID and had a really, really, really tough time. Chris, do you mind chatting about that a sec, or is that off limits?
Oh no, yeah, sure. And I was actually gonna perform a piece about my COVID experience too.
Okay,
so,
perfect.
yeah.
Great segue then.
Oh, for sure. Oh, well, I'm gonna do that piece last, but just to inform you all, I caught COVID. Well, I was exposed to it on the 5th, and I went and got tested on. No, the 5th of September. Got tested on the 7th or the 8th, and they said I was positive for saw I was positive, the symptoms hit me like a truck, like that. And got extreme fatigue, loss of appetite, dry coughs, just coughing all day. It literally did not stop with the coughing. And I'm gonna get into more detail about what happened, but something I didn't say in the piece that my discharge papers, they said I had pneumonia and my respiratory system failed. So it's all God. So all through the blessings of God, I'm here. So
absolutely. So I wanted to have you bring up that because I just want to just reiterate the importance of sharing your gifts. Share your gifts while you're here to share them. Share them with anyone willing to listen, and whether or not people are engaged or are interested, just share what you have. Love people while they're here. Give people their flowers while they're here. Enjoy life and understand that your story and your truth is, and your experiences are what allow you to be the creative beings that you are. And understand that it should be just as important to you to want to share those with anyone wanting or yearning or willing to listen. So without further ado, we're going to bring about our king of the afternoon, Mr. Chris Ciders.
Thank you. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is Chris Ciders. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Today, I'm going to do 3 pieces, and one of them is about my COVID experience, but that's going to be the last piece, like I said earlier. And this is called Unapologetic. It's about being vulnerable. So I hope you all enjoy it, and yeah. God fed us breadcrumbs to live off a minimum. Rinsing off a black skin to be your white him. Corinthians missing from 66 versions. Mary Poppins still claims to be a fucking virgin. Mobile steering with Noah drunk. All powers at red rum. Eve remains unsung in the patriarch, while homophobia rise from the graveyard. I be tired, y'all. I be tired, y'all. Seeing the same demons behind different faces. Anger issues with happiness while I chase it. Down these dark tunnels, echoing that crash talk. 21 floating savages hold red balloons, fear exhaust. How much it costs? How much it costs? Here's some tokens for some wise thoughts eating away your innocence. Dancing kings sing some horrors, making it hard to be vulnerable in this minstrel. White folks don't get Ivan Illich playing victim with good intentions. Admittedly done that amongst my male privilege. Attempting to risk the tears off the blood of my sacrifices. Riper than the fiction, strange drip fruition at the root of us as children. Hands baby raised in drunken fate. Staggering diddy bops across Johnny's plank. Double D's in a fight club holding threes, jaw breaking bag, greed and lust for 25 cents. An extra quarter gets you many men dying of paranoia, ripping off the wings of Macklemore vultures. Black boy fly, no matter how controversial. Every time I've been in love, I ain't never been sober. Too hard to comprehend affliction and realize my enemies is human. Therefore, underestimating the necessities of forgiving me. Too afraid to be in love. Too afraid to be vulnerable with my mother, my father, my sisters, my brother. Too afraid to burn these bridges and use the ashes for comfort. But I'm never too afraid to bring the motherfucking ruckus when my name is spoken. Too afraid to change, too much of the same as a groundhog inferior to mountaintops I died off. Caution as an imposter, descend to Rome. Feminist ideology, the toxicity of my intimacy reeks of BET uncut. And holding cough fields, tip drills, fetishizing conversations of the mud. Oh, to be escorted to a place amongst the touch because time and time again, this world has not shown where I belong aside from entertainment, where I pimp my soul for the relation to your seed. I'd rather live in sin if it meant to be authentic. Lies led to lynches to smoke emits from false whistles that blow to avalanche tornadoes amongst the Jumanji Fable, narrated by Cameron. Screaming towards bloodshed when it's not there, it's leaking on the concrete, dripping from batons, covered by rubber bullets. This the Gil Scott apocalypse of unrest poets. Nah, we can't get along. If America gotta die for us to be free, then so long. Welcome to the Terror Dome. All right, so that's the first piece. So yeah, so that's the first piece. This next piece is a way less shorter. I mean, yeah, way shorter. Kind of preceding the ending of what I was just talking about at the end of the last piece. This next piece is called to the Country That Never Loved Me. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy this. My family was buried underneath southern leaves, told stories with rusted shackles and plantation seeds, while blossoming piles of strange fruit. They broke the hymen from my mother's vagina and confused identities by twisting roots. But we are the penis masters use to rape our fathers and consume the dim spirits of sons too, through forced incest, birth the term motherfucker on a cold bloody splitter platform where infants are deceased upon arrival. 124 was spiteful, ripping apart the sheer purple fabric, making it difficult to navigate through plaid patterns made by eugenics. They take 2/5 of our melanin for their own entertainment. This is the birth of our nation. That's the second piece. All right, so this last piece, the COVID piece, I titled it Pink, White, and Blue because basically on my deathbed, I actually saw God in the form of pink, white, and blue lights. There was a point of my COVID experience where my body was unresponsive and I didn't see nothing but like ultraviolet, pink, white, and blue lights. And God got me through it, and it's quite a journey. So yeah, yeah, I'll explain in this piece. So I hope you all enjoy this piece as well. So yeah. God awaited for the day I showed up on their footstep, empty-handed to present their face. Pink, white, blue. Job once said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. Adjourned under the same roof, Rittenhouse maintained, with Black bodies used as the foundation to place a wooden table. While Lana Del Rey attempts to sing the same octave as Hughes, we as Black people can never stop running in Aubrey's shoes above underground. The earth wades. As Mother Water breaks levees with every layer drawn out the chamber, seekers flag their lone curves, mirroring Edward Norton as Derek Chauvin or Vineyard. See, American history repeats. Present day is like 1918 meets 81 collided with 92. A new celebrity in chief against Blacks die on camera with nothing to prosecute in this realm but our past. Fabricated in spangled banners carried by military death coats, chanting bullets, receiving Uncle Sam's debt. Greed was the engine, looting Black bodies for profit, skinning us for the design, their wallets, raping and killing our fathers. So motherfuck Target, motherfuck Amazon, motherfuck Walmart, motherfuck your gentrified coffee shop. I got beef with your local police department. You said fuck the police as a trend, and I actually lived it. Holding my father at gunpoint, making my mother watch. I was followed home while they attempt to put cocaine in me and my brother's pockets. It's America that taught me how to kill when disrespected, and America that taught me how to lie, cheat, and steal by any means to create the facade that mountains are being moved somehow by being a damn patriot. Over 500,000 dead, and we still dine out the question, the point of it all, like a bad Disney Channel special. I'm truly at a loss for words. 6 feet apart, 3 people to every other role, only 30 people allowed in total at my brother's funeral. I agreed to my anxiety to believe that death lingers around every corner, literally living down the street where 18-year-old Andreas Guardado was gunned down by deputies. I found peace to wallow in my negative energies, eventually catching COVID, coughing up blood on my toilet, going to the ER, unable to focus with extreme fatigue and internal bleeding for the first 7 hours, getting punctured repeatedly till 2 in the morning. Collapsed in the middle of the floor, rushed to the ICU. Doctors offer shock therapy in case my heart stops beating. Relearning how to breathe as I watch Breonna Taylor's killers walk free. Again, I feel weak. Strapped to the bed, unable to move. After I poop, black liquid would come out and nurses would have to wipe me down. Unable to drink water, served with the same red Jell-O and ice chips for 3 meals a day, watching Young and the Restless, The Price is Right, and more protests while doctors struggle to get more blood out of me. My heart rate is over 200, thinking about my cousins, thinking of the pain of a Black father struggling with the thoughts of burying his son, and a mother unable to shield her child. Somehow I always felt that I deserved this. I can't breathe. Silence shrouds over my thoughts, numb to the fingers carrying my body, seeing nothing but pink, white, blue, God. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Very raw and I don't know, how can I describe it? Very, very meaningful and touching. I could tell that it is very personal to you, the way that you describe your COVID experience in life, in the world around you, and how you capture it with your choice of words and expression, and very, very interesting. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking out the time to be a part of the event today. Thank you for being one of the panelists. I appreciate you. And as we all take a deep breath and change our mood and change our energy and call on the ancestors of positivity and good vibes and good juju, we're going to move on to our beautiful Miss Tamara Branch. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. I know last weekend you had a segment with the Museo introducing your most recent book, Sprinkles,
Yes.
Poems and Muses of Life. And I like to also thank Ms. Carol. She gave me your information a little while back so that I could reach out to you and have you a part of my event. So thank you both. Without further ado, Ms. Tamara Branch.
Thank you, Natalie. And thank you, Carol. There is no place I would rather be than right here with all of you. You guys are awesome. It is such a divine experience to be hanging out on a Sunday afternoon. So I'm gonna read a selection of poems from my new book, Sprinkles, Poems and Musings on Life. I wrote this book in the first few months of quarantine 2020. What a year. In the midst of staying inside, no visits, quick spread, unrest, heart said, reflect, write this, an array to soothe and time well spent to get through. So for the first piece, I want to say this first piece was inspired by great art because it elevates and it lifts us in times when we really need it. There was a lot of chaos going on out there, tragic news, trauma. I needed a recharge and I escaped to a beautiful memory. I'd never seen a professional dance repertory with people of color until I saw Alvin Ailey's signature ballet, Revelations. I was 10 years old. It was stunning. The choreography, the story, the music, blues and Negro spirituals, a jubilant expression of Black culture and faith, a world created on that stage that literally blew me away. I wrote this as an ode to that performance and to all great art. It's called Masterpiece. To have created a thing that touches the spirit, words fail. All you can do is feel. Energy, undiluted, aroused in me. Once in a while, a piece is so charged, the earth flickers. One becomes certain there was nothing left to give, that the talent, heart, intellect, vision, skill, imagination lavished onto this feat was exhaustive. And that you were a witness to the occasion, how lucky. Years drift, and every time the memory returns, I am reminded of what it was like to take it in for the first time. This emprise has filled me up for eternity. Thanks, you guys. Oh, what a good memory. So this next piece, I'm going to take a sip of water. This next piece was written on a day when I felt heavy with the social isolation. It was intense. Not seeing the smiles, no hugs, missing my people, missing home. I went way back to being a kid in the Bronx, and I got lost in that moment. This is called growing up. We used to chill on the stoop for hours outside, cracking up, laughing, what ups and goodbyes. Double Dutch, jacks, go fish, war. Played spades with dance breaks on the living room floor. Wiffle ball, football, all the sports. The middle of the street was our park and our court. Hot summers came and there was no pool, so we opened up the fire hydrant to get cool. Funny, doesn't seem like that long ago. Back of the nursing home, bike riding in the snow. Patties and cocoa bread, bun and cheese. Curry goat, oxtail, rice and peas. Chicken wings with hot sauce, burgers and fries, had block parties, races, and apple pies. We would sing and act and bang on tables. We loved making up beats, rhymes, and fables. Education, paramount. Our parents didn't play. Your friends' parents could check you on your manners every day. Fights and tragedy did bring some storms, though we got back to it and the vibe was strong. The boogie down Bronx, born and raised, much love, respect, not a thing I would change. The block was the village. We all together belonged, a community of folk who sang the same song. Thanks, you guys. And the last piece I'll read. You know, all I'll say about this is the alarm has been blaring for far too long. This is fair play. Sometimes the stain is in the fabric and it's time for a new sketch, new pattern, new everything, new way of thinking. Grinding is not living. Compassion and honesty heal. There is no age or condition that stops one from having the ability to help make this a fairer place. This colorful world, heaps of dreams and possibilities in those skies. A great many have the blues. Every heart wants to skip a beat, resound like jazzy symphonies. That music would be unlike any other. It would sound like beauty. Mother Nature needs a cast iron will to survive. And thank God she has one, and so do we. We cannot be capsized. Rebirth is never a cakewalk. We need to talk. The air could use some freshening. Crippled with grief, a jangled nervous system shrieks, ripples, miracles, critical, miracles everywhere, so much to share. But social distancing started way before social distancing. How long does it take for one to break when there is no break? What do you do when basic needs are not met? No warmth or food or bed. Can we admit there is something to fix? Bubbles pop, though for a time they glisten pretty with reflections of rainbows. To call together one and all, to grasp fears, build, enlighten, and strengthen the mind. How great to give that version to creation. You are animated for a reason. In the stillness, you always know. Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. I know it's really hard to be fully engaged when you're used to hearing the accolades and the people in the background. So again, but we were snapping and clapping and everything. Absolutely.
I feel the energy. I feel,
Yes.
you know, there's a lot of love in this room.
There is. Everyone go ahead and come off of mute, and that way we can chat real quick as we slowly start to close out before I go on.
Yeah,
definitely. We want everyone to feel the energy in the room and have anything to say if they like. Chris, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. You got good intuition, because
do I have good intuition?
I think my energy or vibe is coming off as I hope I didn't go like I hope I wasn't too intense.
Well, I didn't want
That's
to.
where I was at.
Well, you know what? You know, my intuition and your intuition is great. You as a creative and as an artist, you were exactly who you are and what you need to be. I say that. But as we move forward and as we connect and as we are in environments such as this, we learn to feel the energy and the vibe. So I say that to say this. You were exactly who you needed to be at the moment during your creativity. No one on this panel or in this world should ever stifle you from being who you are, what you are. But I will say it's always sometimes important to understand your audience or vibe and feel that energy with your audience. And that's all I can say. I'm not absolutely, we do not want you to feel that way at all. Your work speaks for itself. Your work, your experiences, your intensity was exactly what you needed it to be. So I applaud you. Don't feel that way absolutely at all. Because when I met you in December, you struck a chord with me because of your style. Your style is very different. It's very unique. So absolutely, you definitely felt my sense, my sixth sense. I think you gauged into it for sure. But anyway, Sharika, how are you doing?
Doing well, enjoying.
Good, good, good. Thank you again. Miss Carol, any words?
You know, um, all of the poets have had such a diverse story and voice, and that's been wonderful. Um, there are little kernels in every single one that we can take away and use to enrich our lives. And I so appreciate their candor and their creativity and their talent. And I love the diversity of voices that we heard today. You know, you keep doing it, Natalie. You keep doing it.
Thank you.
You know, and I loved the rhythm of it. You know, so we got a little deep, and then we got a little respite,
Right.
and then we got a little deep and a little respite. So you know, it's all about rhythm, and isn't that what life is? It's all about rhythm. It's
Right.
all about ebb and flow. And so
Absolutely.
I really loved the conversations. And you know, there are a couple of comments in the chat saying, you know, everyone is so inspiring and thank you, and how amazing this has been. So thank you all for taking the time. So are we going to hear from you, Miss Natalie?
Yes, I think
Oh, you
I'm
know what? I
actually
think
gonna.
we miss Tamara. Was there anything that you wanted to
Oh no,
say,
exactly.
Tamara,
We
before
did.
we
We
go
missed
to
her.
Natalie?
Oh, I mean, it was Natalie, when you mentioned about the audience and we're used to hearing feedback and all that. This is such a love-filled room that you could have your eyes closed and still feel the energy.
Right.
So I had a blast, and it was just a joy to listen to everybody else. And you know, the beauty of story.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing.
And I also wanted to go back when Sharika made the comment about she's a lover of words. And I too, I second that. I like that phrase.
Yes.
And I think all of us here are lovers of words. And
absolutely.
So, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, Miss Carol, I'm actually planning to do a piece. I think you've already heard, but I actually, guys, did this piece for our Black History event for an organization that I'm a part of. My husband and I, Orange County Heritage Council here in Orange County, and I titled it "Wade in the Water." Then I titled it, What is Black History to Me? Then I titled it, I Can't Breathe. I titled it various things, and yet I still really can't decide on a title. So I'm calling it a poem. It's a poem right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys this rendition. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. I can't breathe. Black history is cotton fields and tobacco leaves. It is a word, a place, a state of mind. Black history is a peek into our ancestors' time. An old rope that my great-grandfather lived to deplore. It is slave ships and Confederate flags, lynchings and beatings. Black history is knowing master the plantation overseer and backdoor slop, weeping and crying by the beating of the ancient African drums. Those memories of hate and despair branded in our hearts. Black history is every day a troubling truth, an unapologetic past. Black history is Harriet Tubman, Mississippi Burning, Emmett Till, Zora Neale Thurston, James Baldwin, Black Panther Party, Duke Ellington, Billie Holiday, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Tuskegee Airmen, Barack Obama, Mae Jemison, Katherine Johnson, Kamala Harris, George Floyd. Black history is our legacy of triumph without fear. It is every experience of our history. Our Black history is you and me, 8 minutes, 46 seconds, and we still can't breathe. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys can come off mute.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Powerful.
you.
Powerful.
Very,
Thank you, thank you. Sharika?
very powerful, so profound,
Thank you.
and so
Thank you.
timely.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And I just want to again thank you all. What a way to end the afternoon together. I want to remind you that the links to any of our viewing audience, that the links are available on our website to all of the poets that you've just heard. And just as a reminder, it's www.museo.org. Let us know your thoughts on these programs. We want to continue to bring relevant programs to the community, and your feedback will be really appreciated. And we welcome and appreciate your support of the Museo, and there's a donate button on our website should you choose to. Special thank you to Burkenda for her work behind the scenes, and to Tamara, Christopher, Sherika, and Alejandro, and without a doubt, Natalie Elaine. You've all helped us navigate the various nuances of the written and spoken word through your beautiful, powerful poems. So I want to especially thank you for that. Thank you to our viewing audience for tuning in on a Sunday afternoon when you could be doing so many other things. I invite you to join us on April the 11th when we will have our author series hosted by Maddie Margarita. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay well.
Thank you guys.
Bye for now.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.